Adam, first ringside thoughts straight away from the get-go. No break. I'm not even letting you breathe about it. I know you're still soaking it in. Look at you.
Yeah, we just gone off air on the zone. Blown away by Oleksandr Usyk's performance. I thought he'd win beforehand. I thought he'd stop Dubois, but I didn't think he'd be quite as ruthless as he was. I thought he was steely focused in the ring walk. He came out wanting to make a statement. I think we sort of felt that in the build-up. That I don't know whether Daniel Dubois slightly disrespected him in Riyadh, the low blow controversy, but I think that Usyk really wanted this to work tonight, and he was brilliant. He was outstanding on his feet. I thought his jab was fabulous. First 2 rounds he won. Dubois came back a little bit at him. He tried his best, but really ultimately he was no match for him. He landed a few right hands, or partially landed, but Usyk's so clever at evading shots and countering, and he did with the right hook round the ear, and then the left that finished it off, which was just a phenomenal punch. And the irony of the fact that Daniel Dubois had his greatest night here by beating Anthony Joshua in the 5th round. It was the 5th round that turned into a nightmare for him tonight, in front of his home crowd, but also it was an Usyk crowd. It was an amazing atmosphere. I think it was a chance for people to say they've seen Oleksandr Usyk fight. I think that Daniel Dubois did his best and was just not in his class. And I think he's so good in rematches, Usyk. He knew exactly what to expect. He didn't let Dubois get the 2-3 jabs away that he needed to. He didn't let him back him up on the ropes. And I think Oleksandr Usyk has proved he's not only the best fighter of this era, but I think he's, in my opinion, he's probably one of the top 10 of all time now. He's what he's achieved: 3-time undisputed champion, a middleweight as an amateur, 358 amateur wins, 24 professional wins now, undisputed at cruiserweight and twice at heavyweight, and beating the bigger guys, the AJs, the Tyson Furies, now Dubois twice. I mean, he said he needs a rest. I'm not surprised, but Andy, we've been in the training camp with him, and we know how hard he works. And I don't think there's anyone that I've ever seen in a training camp that works harder. And I don't think there's anyone at heavyweight I've seen better. And I mean, Lennox Lewis, probably certainly our greatest heavyweight and one of the greatest of all time. I think he would have struggled with Usyk. I really do. And I think Usyk could be a match to any heavyweight of any era. But I think it's not just seeing him as a heavyweight, it's seeing him as what he is: a complete fighter, but a complete human being, somebody that is an ambassador for his country, someone that's an icon around the world, someone who is intelligent, who is a family man, who is a wonderful technician. And I just think it's a pleasure to watch him. And I think that everyone that was here tonight can go home and tell their grandkids that they saw the genius that was Oleksandr Usyk. How long he'll continue, who knows? He can continue as long as he wants. But I was so impressed with him tonight. I've always loved him, but I think tonight he was extremely good.
Do you know what? You might say Usyk won the first round. From where I was sitting, I was like, Daniel has some sort of plan. Were you surprised he didn't put pressure on straight away? Like, absolutely mental. Like how majority of our fans that were talking to us said that he's just going to go for it. So
yeah, I think that it's difficult. It's easier said than done, right? He's been in sparring with guys who are not anything like Oleksandr Usyk. They're southpaws, and I'm sure he had big success in sparring. And listen, he's a world heavyweight champion, and he'll come back. He's 27, but he was in with a guy who was a level, if not 2 levels above him, and he tried very hard. I thought he lost the first. Again, it was a bit like AJ against Usyk in their first fight, and Usyk took the jab away from AJ straight away. He did the same thing here. He just got control of the ring so early on. He was brilliant with his jab. He was working to the body, and I think Dubois tried, and I think he landed right hands, but ultimately he had to land combinations. He had to double and treble the jab. Usyk didn't allow him to do it. He controlled the ring, and I thought Daniel was hurt at the end of the 2nd round. Obviously then hurt in the 5th, and he was never going to recover from that left hand. I don't even know why there was a count. The towel had come in anyway, but he was done. And an unbelievable performance from Oleksandr Usyk.
And seeing him at the end kind of let go of all of that emotions packed up, he was in tears like he usually is after a fight, and at the end riling up the audience saying Tyson, saying Parker, saying this. And my question to you, Adam, who do you think not he should fight, but who do you think deserves a shot against Oleksandr?
I think Joseph Parker deserves the shot. I think there's no question about that. I mean, there's a long queue of fighters that could fight him. Tyson Fury says he wants him for a third time. There could be a third AJ fight. Derek Chisora wants one more big fight. There's lots of names. Ajit Kabayel probably deserves a chance as well. But I think Joseph Parker is the one that has been really forgotten and sort of left out. And I think he's the next in line. Moreover, I just hope that the situation in Ukraine calms and that he can have a farewell fight in front of his home fans in his home country. I think that would be the perfect way to exit, to leave the sport. And like Katie Taylor last week, you know, there's nothing more that these unbelievable fighters can do. Katie has done what she's done, the most extraordinary story. Alexander's done what he's done, the most extraordinary story. And I think what's left is their home nations are so proud of them. Ireland with Katie, Ukraine with Oleksandr, that it just would be fitting if both of them could have that final sort of homecoming or goodbye fight. So yeah, but look, he could fight 3 or 4 more. He said to me on the London Eye a few weeks ago, he said to me that he wanted 2 more fights. This was one of them. I'd like the other one to be in Ukraine, and that might take some time. So I'm not sure Oleksandr will wait that long. Will he fight again this year? I'm not sure. Maybe spring next year, maybe it is Tyson Fury in April, like Fury's been saying. Maybe they have hatched that plan already. But yeah, I mean, it was just an amazing night, full of 90,000 people who I think all universally adore Oleksandr Usyk, and even the ones cheering Daniel Dubois on. We were talking to them earlier at Box Fest, and they were almost saying the hearts with Dubois and the heads with Usyk, and I think everyone would have left tonight with their hearts very much with Oleksandr Usyk. He's a champion, he's an inspiration, and he's an icon, and we're not going to get another for our, I don't think, in our lifetime.
I agree. And as always, Adam, what's happening? We're disassembling all of Wembley, and we're the last ones to leave.
Yeah, we're the last at Tottenham, weren't we?
Yeah, we were the last one. We were walking with Ben.
I think Conor Ben was probably the last person, because we went to see him afterwards. But yeah, it was. Yeah, we're the last to leave here. It's amazing, isn't it, this sport, that an hour or so ago, this fight was only just beginning, and now it's all over and history moves on, and he's a 3-time undisputed champion. I mean, it's extraordinary to be undisputed once, but to do it at cruiserweight, to do it at heavyweight, and then to do it again, I mean, it's just unparalleled. And to do it better a second time, like he did against Fury, he dealt with Dubois much more emphatically tonight than he did in Poland. And I think, as I said, I think there was a bit between his teeth. He said, don't push the horses. I think he really wanted to make a serious statement tonight. I think people question whether he could at 38, but I said to a lot of people who'd listened beforehand, he's only had 23, now 24 professional fights. That's not even as much as Dubois. And he's selected his fights carefully and cleverly, and he's, like he did in the amateurs, won European, world and Olympic gold. He's cleaned up everything and everybody, and I don't think there's anyone that will beat him unless he goes on way too long, which I don't think he will.
Well, that's it, Adam. What do we say at the end of each video? Call it Adam
We
Smith.
say that's a wrap, and it's a bit like after the Lord Mayor's show here. We will be in Bournemouth next week, down on the south coast. Ryan Garner, Reece Bellotti. It's a really good fight, actually, a good trade fight. It's not this, but it's a great one to finish on in the summer. So back end of July, we're down in Bournemouth, the voice of boxing. We keep going, Andy. And you are next for Joseph Parker, remember that?
Oh yes, I have to fight him, don't I?
Yes. Well, there's a ring.
There's a ring. I just saw him walk past. I might as well call him out.
Did he eye you up?
A little bit, you know, he looked at me and you thought, oh, that's the guy who's...
Yeah, it's you. It's you.
All right, call it Adam. Call it.
That's a wrap.
There we go.